Hello my friends, welcome to the Optical channel. This is Uncle Misha. Today we continue working on the Nikon Coolscan ED4 or 4ED. So this is part 2, so as you see in my previous video, here's the video. Please take a look. So I got the scanner in destroyed state and all this contraption was broken. So what I decided to do, I decided to remanufacture something here. So this was okay, and this plastic thing was okay, but this was completely broken, and that was quite bent. So I went through some procedures. So first of all, I decided to manufacture these stoppers, which were in this kind of shape before. So that was here, okay. So this is what was here. So essentially it was keeping this lead screw in place on other side, and probably was acting as some sort of bushing bearing. So I went through process of engineering this stopper with the screw. I obviously over-engineered it. I made it very big and very strong, I hope. And it manufactured from PLA. Whatever color I had loaded in the printer doesn't really matter. I think orange look funky. This is all. So this is the version. So also I went through the process of straightening that lead screw. It's still probably not 100% straight, but I did as much as my best. I did my best, I think. I spent a lot of time poking around. So what I've done, as you see here on the photo, I manufactured this like a chunk of wood with 2 holes, and I tried to use the rubber mallet and actually to hammer it straight. Turned out to be this thing is too soft and it was a little bit too drastic. So what I ended up doing is just using it straight on my vinyl countertop or whatever it is, like for stone kind of countertops, essentially plasticky, and just banging using the hammer. And then I was using the for a softer material, just like typical wooden cutting board. So yeah, I was straightening using it cutting board and just straight on the countertop, and this is the best I could do. It's still not 100% straight, but like I spent so much time fiddling with it, so I'm done. Anyway, so this is as good as it can be. So I've also installed it, okay. So the same pretty much screw reused. Had to sand a little bit. Well, this is bad one, like this one for example. Had to sand a little bit around here in order to make it fit properly this opening, right? So yeah, so it's actually an assemble it together screw. You have to actually put all this contraption in one place, then put the screw, the stopper, and then screw it in, and now it's all snug and secure. I hope it's not too tight. It's really hard to tell if it's good or not. All right. Yeah. But it's working. I believe there is some kind of how do you call it, a clutch of a sort. I think it's for preventing it to be sloppy. And this is, by the way, stepper. I thought this is like a brushless motor. No, this is stepper. Even if you can rotate this thing, you feel it click, 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 like a typical stepper would. So this is stepper motor, 4 pins, typical stepper, arrangement. So what we have to do now, I hope this is all gonna work, because if I assemble all together and then it turned out to be it's not working, it's gonna be pain in the ass to take it all apart again. Because if you see, you probably see in that video how much time I spent just to take this thing apart. All right, so probably from now on I'm gonna be just try to assemble just to the point I can test it. All right, I'm gonna be just doing minimal assembly just to make sure I can test it. Then I probably have to hook up hook up power supply, which goes over here, and then test it, because there's no point to put it all together nicely and just to see if that is not working. Another thing I would like to do, but probably again after it's all working, it's to clean the optical path. So I noticed that the lens, the mirror lens, probably dirty as well, but really hard to reach. The mirror is actually pretty dirty. So, but I'm gonna spend more time only when it's needed. So only when I see this thing is actually working, recognized by the computer, and actually does something. Then I'm gonna assemble it, clean up everything, and clean up first probably, and then assemble it. Alright, so let's proceed with a little bit more assembly. Alright, so let's continue assembling. So next, gonna be this optical unit. I keep everything in electrostatic bags because I have no idea how static sensitive this stuff is, so I assume it is static sensitive. So my idea would be to do everything super careful and exercise maximum amount of caution. So this unit, I think, yeah, now I don't remember. No, yeah, definitely it goes in here this way. And that's, I predict it's gonna be a lot of fiddling because you see, I don't 100% remember how it's supposed to be installed. And as we see, okay. Oops. It's just not, oh yeah, it just falls down, alright. And this is supposed to fall down as well. Alright, so this moves like this. Obviously I need to add, I don't remember how that was fished through. Yeah, alright, it just sits here. It hits, right. Okay, and okay. Now, obviously, it will be just operating by this servo. Okay, so this device, this top part goes into this slot. And if it's like in that particular slot, it's completely coupled to that stepper motor. Okay, so now there are a few screws I have to put on. So like right here to secure this side of business, like this side, and maybe on this side as well. And these guys, I think that's one. That's the one. They go like this. Maybe just gonna put one side, maybe. Right, this, and they secure. And on this side is that guy. It goes like here. I just don't remember where this wire go. It's on top or bottom or side or whatever. Yeah. So that's the problem, a little bit of a problem. So I have to kind of review my original video just to understand, you know, where goes what, because that's not clear. By the way, we have another stepper where it is. Oh, and the bottom. So here it's wire for that stepper. No, sorry, this is wire for a focus. So stepper. Okay, whatever. Nevertheless, it's somewhere else. So this clearly has to be moved all the way back just to have a bit better access. All right. Okay, so now we'll just secure these guys. Oh yeah. When assembling this, the stuff you disassemble, it's very important to remember what screw go where. And when I was shooting the video, okay, I cover it just like I did just right now. So I cover the screw with my hand just like that, and I don't see what exactly goes there. So it's kind of funny, but I think by deduction I figured it out, that these tiny self-toppers go, these yellow ones, like they are bronze or whatever colored, go here. Actually, the other way. So this part is important. So I'm gonna be completely screwing this up securely, because I want to make sure all this not wobbles down. All right, so this is secure. So now this device moves only this direction. Now we have to put this spring back on. So this is definitely anti-slop device, so make sure this is not sloping in a breeze like that. So now, yeah, it's gonna pick up the slope. So this is how it's supposed to be working. All right, so let's continue. We still have a lot of things to do. Okay, so now we have this receptacle which actually takes the scanning trays, and I just realized that because this very basic slide scanning tray doesn't even have a connector, so this thing is not necessarily has to be installed. All right, so we can just leave it dangling somewhere on the side. Just leave it right there. The only thing I do not remember, I think this little guy is supposed to go all the way through here. Yeah, probably just like this. Because I do not remember how it's supposed to be installed, but I sort of try to make educated guess here. Yeah, something like that, probably, highly likely. Okay. Then let's take a power supply. So here's our power supply. So power supply is pretty simple. Doesn't have any more connectors than that, which is actually pretty awesome. As long as it's not gonna put it on plastic, sorry, on any kind of conductive part, it should be fine. So and the last piece is probably the most important piece. Sorry for all noise, is this. So this is the main board, and yeah, here we are. That's probably be the most challenge, because I want to install it in such a way that they can take it apart in any given time. And it looks like the power supply goes right here, so we're gonna keep it on this side. Okay, this connector probably goes in here, so but not gonna touch it yet. I assume these two guys, all right, so they go, I don't even know where would I put them. I'm gonna be probably putting them on this side as well. Okay, so this motor goes in here. I cannot touch it right now. There is a little connector which goes to some sort of sensor, I assume. Okay, I'm going to... would I be able to keep this board just like this? I'm curious. I am curious. Okay. Otherwise, that would be very, very handy. Just for now. I'm not gonna be keeping it like that forever. Just for the test. All right. So we go here. This little doesn't reach. Would you? Will you? Maybe. Okay, so that's it. This is not gonna reach for sure, so that's gonna be hanging. All right, so just something like that. Okay, so this I assume goes in here. No, I'm not gonna put these guys yet, because we have something more. So this is let me think about how that's supposed to be going. So that was sitting like that. So they has to be connected in the same way. So let's just, okay, let me kind of reverse my thinking. All right, so that's not comfortable. Now to be, I have to disconnect everything and connect this guy because it's just was super awkward. Okay, now just go back to reconnect this gentleman, this stepper motor, and this sensor. Highly likely this is a sensor or another stepper motor, I don't know, because it has to be second stepper motor for a autofocus. All right, so this is reconnected. Okay, now we connect this guy. Okay, is it straight? Yes. And it's pretty much it, I think. Now we connect the power supply somehow, somewhere here. Okay, it's kind of handy because the power input is right here, USB is right here. So that's, in general, I don't know, it looks, oh, power button, okay, whatever, power button gonna be right here. So let me double check everything to make sure I didn't forget to connect something, and there's no interference of any kind. And let's see what's gonna happen. Alright, my friends, so finally I have connected everything, and now is the time to carefully, maybe actually I do it on the other side. First I'm gonna connect this, and then I'm gonna connect it to the power. Okay, so moment of truth. I hope nothing will gonna blow up. Let's just power it up. And nothing happens. That's not cool. So there is no any light here. There is no movement at all. This thing connected to the laptop via USB. Nothing happening, obviously, because not even power here. So that means I have to bring the multimeter to the table. Careful about this area, very careful, because this is dangerous. Okay, so I don't have any kind of service manual. They just kind of probe around these capacitors right here. See what they're gonna say. Nothing. Okay, what about here? So usually around capacitors you're gonna have some kind of voltages. Have nothing. And what about here? Have nothing as well. Do I even? It's a reverse, but whatever. How about here? No voltage. 1.4 volt out of somewhere. .4 volts. So that means that power supply is actually kicking. Let me find a good grounding point. So I decided to take one multimeter, different multimeter here, with the ground alligator clip and the sharp probe, so I would be able to kind of poke around here. So this is ground. Now let's see what we have. 1 volt. 1 volt. It's not cool at all. This is all junk. .8. It's not looking cool at all. The reason I'm checking this voltage regulators or whatever they are, transistors. Okay. We have an issue, clearly. we have an issue. Okay, I have assumed that the heatsink is grounded because it's actually connected to one of these pins right here. Alright, so at the moment we are in ohms mode. Alright, so let's just power this up and measure. Okay, this is our connector. So here we have, no, something wrong with power supply. I don't believe you need 1.17 volt on output. Yeah. 4.45, that's supposed to be, I don't know, 5. What's up here? Negative 3.7. Shit. That's ground. Yeah, that's clearly a bit of a problem. Yeps. Yeah, those voltages are insane. So we have an issue with power supply. Okay. So let me debug this power supply.